Hey. Sorry, almost died there for a second. Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here. I am doing another Christmas review that is taking a little bit longer than expected. My sweater probably gives a little bit of a hint as to what it might be. But that'll be coming out sometime next week, hopefully. So look forward to that. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I did want to give you some Christmas-related review sometime this week. So I decided I'm going to do just a real quick, simple video talking about the Christmas Chronicle. A couple of people have already reviewed this movie already. In case you don't know what it is, this is a Netflix original movie that released a couple weeks ago. I think it released like near the end of November. But it is a Netflix original movie starring Kurt Russell as Santa Claus. And just by that statement, you probably already made up your mind as to whether or not you want to see this movie, just to see Kurt Russell as Santa Claus. But there is a little bit more to the movie than that. Essentially, the story centers around, it opens pretty well done, actually. It opens with this family, and it's shown through like various like video logs of this family like spending like several years of Christmas together. And then it finally cuts to the present, and they're about to celebrate Christmas 2018. But things are, times are going a bit tough for this family because the father passed away. They don't really explain how he died. They vaguely hint that he like probably, I think he saved someone in a like burning building or something like that, but they don't really go into too much detail. But anyway, so that's kind of, you know, taking a toll on the family. You know, the mother is really stressed out and upset, and she goes out for one night and for her job, and she says that her son and her daughter, the brother and sister, they should do something fun and spend Christmas together. So this little sister, swearing that she has seen Santa Claus, they decide to work together to trap Santa. Or like rig it so that they'll get a good shot of him, and it works. Surprisingly, it works. And when they do discover that Santa is real, they go and hitch a ride in his sleigh. This catches him off guard and causes him to crash and lose all the gifts and the reindeer and his magic hat that allows him to fly for some reason. And so now they have to go on this big epic adventure to get all of that stuff back and save Christmas. And you know, along the way they learn some lessons about, you know, family and all that other like gooey emotional stuff. So the story, it is a pretty standard story. Like, you obviously know there's no real consequences, but it is cute. It is emotional. You know, it's heartwarming. You know, you feel really. You feel a lot for these characters. You know, they make the brother and sister really relatable characters, and you know, it just hits you in all the right places. It's like a cheesy Hallmark movie. Like, it's stupid, but it's like it's like a cheesy, like charming kind of stupid. The stuff that the movie does well is pretty much everything else. The acting in this is really good, especially from the child actors, which I am really surprised by. Usually these like straight to Netflix or straight to DVD, you know, movies have like the worst child actors. But these ones were actually really good. They do get like a bit over the top at some points, but for the most part, they're pretty good. I really like the little sister. She had some lines and delivery that made me laugh. Obviously, the one standout is Kurt Russell as Santa Claus, and he is fantastic. He is kind of like this badass version of Santa Claus, like more badass than like, I'm trying to think of another. I think the only other closest badass Santa Claus has been like in Rise of the Guardians, if any of you remember that that animated movie. Alec Baldwin plays a Russian Santa Claus. It has like swords and shit. This one was really good. You know, he's really, you know, like snarky, and like, you know, he's funny, and he knows everyone by name, and every like single like thing that they ever wanted and every single thing about them. And he's just he's really cool. Like, you can tell from his performance, he's having so much fun in this role, and it comes through on screen. He's really awesome. Probably one of the highlights of the movie is there's a song sequence in a prison, and I just had a big dumb grin on my face throughout that entire sequence. I'm not gonna spoil it. Go watch the movie for yourself to see what I'm talking about. But that was a really fun moment in the movie. The movie is also really inventive with a lot of its concepts, like the way that it explains certain things, like how he gets from place to place in one night, and like they show like how they show him using like wormholes and like teleportation to get from place to place, and like the way he can fit down the chimney. He like uses his hat to like turn himself into dust and then reappear back inside the house. They show like they show that his bag full of toys is essentially a TARDIS. It's essentially bigger on the inside. It's practically its own other dimension, kind of. But the one thing that honestly kind of made me laugh, just for how crazy and ridiculous it is okay, so the reason that they have to find all of this stuff and save Christmas is because if Santa Claus doesn't, make Christmas happen, the Christmas spirit meter will go down, and if the Christmas spirit meter goes all the way down, bad things will happen. And he even says in the movie, like, all those wars that you read about in history class? So he's pretty much implying that Santa caused the Holocaust. Like, Santa caused the Holocaust, Santa Claus caused World War I, Santa Claus caused the Cold War, all because the Christmas spirit meter was low and Santa Claus didn't show up. Which, that, like, just for the implications, like, that was just really funny to me, and also, like, pretty inventive and creative. The visual effects range anywhere from really good to pretty cheap. It is a Netflix movie after all, so you're not gonna, like, be expecting, like, really high quality, like, oh my god, those look realistic type of visual effects. Those elves, though, those are the only things that I cannot, like, get behind. Those things are nightmarish. They're not even like trying to look realistic. They're like Smurfs mixed with Minions mixed with chipmunks, and it just like all these like CGI combinations, and it just looks nightmarish and creepy and just it looks really weird. But thankfully they aren't like they don't show up until like near the end of the movie, and they aren't given a very like prominent role. You don't see that much of them, so. But when they do show up, it is pretty creepy. Also, the movie does have, like I said, genuine heart to it. It does like delve into the relationship between the brother and the sister, and it shows them like bonding, and you feel for them, and you feel like the remorse in the brother's eyes for like all the like stupid shit that he's done, and he's talking about like, oh, if Dad were here he'd be so ashamed of me and stuff like that. But yeah, it is really like, it does get you in the heartstrings, and at this time of year, like this kind of stuff, it's a lot of people are probably going through it, so it's nice that the movie wasn't just like, oh, let's have a wacky fun adventure, but let's like have some emotional depth to it. As far as criticisms go, I don't really have that many. Like I said, some of the visuals could have been better. The story could have been like a little bit more interesting. The movie also takes a little bit to get going. It feels a little bit slow towards the beginning, but that's really it. That's all the criticisms that I have. I really did enjoy this movie. It's not going to be for everyone, but I would say definitely check it out. If I had to rate it, I'd probably go like 3.5 maybe. Like, it's not good enough for anywhere, it's not good enough to be a 4, but it's not like bad enough to be any lower than like a 3.5 or a 3. So I'd say that. I'd say 3.5, but I still genuinely enjoy it, and I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. So yeah, that about does it. The next Christmas review will be coming sometime next week, if it's finished by then, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like this video if you liked it. Tell me in the comments what you thought of Christmas Chronicles, if you saw it. And what is your favorite Christmas movie out of all time? You know, it can be old, it can be new, it can be bad, it can be good. Just tell me a Christmas movie that you really like. Apart from that, be sure to subscribe, ring the notification bell so you stay up to date on whenever I post something. Be sure to subscribe to my main channel, follow me on all my social medias. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.
It's Christmas time, pretty baby, and the snow is falling on the ground.